Good afternoon. In this presentation, I'm going to demonstrate VXLAN technology in Juniper QFX5100 and EX9200 data center switch. This is not a VXLAN technology introduction, so I assume you're already familiar with it. This demonstration is to show you VXLAN actually works in QFX5100 and EX9200, to give you the first-hand information to set it up and running. So here is the lab for this demonstration. There's two QFX5100 used as a VXLAN layer 2 gateway to encap and decap the VLAN 10 traffic across the layer 3 network. So we have the VLAN 10 configured on both QFX5100. And also there is a EX9200. It's used for layer 3 inter-VXLAN routing. It will forward the packet from VLAN 20 from one of the QFX 5100 to VLAN 30 on another QFX 5100. The IRB interface is required on the EX to help the inter-VXLAN layer 3 routing function. So those are two QFX 5100s I use in this lab. So let's look at the configuration. First, we look at the interface configuration. There's really nothing special here. You don't need to put any special command for the server-facing interface. That's the same on the second QFX 5100. Then we look at the VTEP. So we use the loopback interface as a VTEP source interface. We also want to make sure the multicast configuration is there. So we define the RP for the PIM protocols and also enable PIM on all the interface. And finally, we need to define the VLAN to VNI mapping. So this can be checked with show VLAN configurations. In this configuration, VLAN 10 is mapped to VNI 10. Also use multicast group 239.1.1.1. So similarly on the second QFX, so you have the same VLAN and the multicast group configured. Here we use the traffic 2 to simulate the host. So we set up the bidirectional traffic. As you can see, we're sending from host 1 to host 2, host 2 to host 1. They are in the same VLAN, VLAN 10, and that traffic will be sent across the layer 3 underlay. So before we start the traffic, let's go back, look at the switch again, just to check the multicast state information is there, and no MAC address has been learned yet. Show Ethernet switching table. As you can see, there's no MAC address has been learned, and do a show PIM joins. So here you can see the multicast group 239.1.1.1, which we used for the VNI 10 bomb traffic, already sent the PIM joins towards the RP. So now let's start the traffic. All right. Let's check the Ethernet table again. So now we look at the Ethernet forwarding table. The MAC address is learned in the MAC table. So local is from 000 interface, and the remote MAC address is from the VTEP interface. We're sending roughly 1 million packets per second, and also receive the same exactly rate on the receiving end. So now we add EX9200 to the lab as a VXLAN layer 3 gateway to do the inter-VXLAN routing. So similarly on that EX9200, we're going to check the VTEP configuration, the multicast, the VLAN to VNI mapping, and also the IRB interface configurations. Because it's doing the layer 3 inter-VXLAN routing, so we need to set up the IRB interface to map the VLAN to the IRB layer 3 interface. So similarly, we use the loopback interface as a VTEP source interface. We use the EX9200 as a RP, and also we enable PIM sparse mode on the interface. VLAN 20 mapped to layer 3 interface IRB 0. Similarly, VLAN 30 will be mapped to IRB 1. So here you probably notice we don't have the VLAN 10 defined. So here we don't need the VLAN 10 because the VLAN 10 was encapsulated and decapsulated by the layer 2 gateway QFX5100, and that traffic directly sent across the layer 3 as a VXLAN traffic. So we don't need to do anything for the VLAN 10 in the intermediate switch. So here we do the VLAN 20 and VLAN 30 because we do the inter-VXLAN routing on the EX9200. Now let's look at the traffic generator. In traffic generator, on each physical port we add another host, use it as a VLAN 20 and VLAN 30. Then on the traffic streams, again we add the inter-VXLAN traffic stream, so that traffic will send from VLAN 20 to VLAN 30. So now let's start all the traffic. So let's select all and start all the traffic, start all the inter-VXLAN and intra-VXLAN traffic altogether. So alright, the traffic we're sending roughly a little bit shy of 1 million packets per second. This is the transmit rate, and also this is receiver's rate. As you can see, all the traffic successfully received. So now let's just take a quick look at the state information on the EX9200. So on the EX9200 we can show Ethernet switching. As you can see, the VLAN 20 and also the VLAN 30, we learned the VLAN 30 MAC address through the VTEP interface. While the traffic is flowing, let's just check one more command to show the remote VTEP information. So we can check that by doing a show Ethernet switching tunnel endpoint. So from that command, you can learn the remote VTEP address. We have two. One is on the QFX50, another QFX5100, another one on the EX9200, and they're mapping to different VNI and also use different multicast group address. And also you can see the local VTEP information is also displayed here. So let's review our topology again. So in summary, we demonstrate the IETF-based VXLAN technology on the QFX5100 and the EX9200. The QFX5100 as a VXLAN Layer 2 gateway. The EX9200 is working as a VXLAN Layer 3 inter-VXLAN routing gateway. So this concludes our demonstration. Thank you for your time.